What kind of Jesus are you looking for? Welcome to this, your daily 180 Bible study. We're looking at lessons from the church in Thessalonica, the beginning of that church, and how they were accused of turning the world upside down, but in reality, Paul was preaching a message that would get people right side up. And we see in verse number 3, notice this, that verse 2 says he reasoned with them from the Scriptures, and then verse number 3, explaining and demonstrating that the Christ had to suffer and rise again from the dead, and saying, this Jesus whom I preach to you is the Christ. So he reasoned with them from the Scriptures. What Scriptures was he using? Well, Old Testament Scriptures. And looking back at some of the Old Testament prophecies, perhaps he went to Genesis 49 and verse 10 that talked about the fact that the scepter would not depart from Judah, that the king would come from Judah. And perhaps he looked at passages like the suffering servant in Isaiah 53, where it talks about he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. Perhaps it was passages like that. But there was a real problem for most of the Jews. You see, Jesus was all wrong for them. Everything about Jesus was wrong for them. You see, his hometown was wrong. Nazareth, that's a backwoods hick town. No. Our Messiah would not come from there. His demeanor was wrong. He didn't carry himself like a king. His message was wrong. He was always preaching things that were contrary to the traditions of the elders. His appearance was wrong. I mean, he didn't dress like a king. And for them, his shame on the cross was all wrong. Do you remember what Paul would write over in 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 23? We preach Christ crucified, to the Jews a stumbling block. Now, I mention all this to say, what kind of Jesus are you looking for? You see, for many of them, they were looking for the wrong kind of Messiah. They were looking for a Messiah who would gratify their desires, who would take care of their selfish desires. Unfortunately, many people are doing that today. So what do? Humble yourself before God's Word and discover the Jesus that's revealed within the pages of the Bible. Join us again tomorrow for your daily 180.